Guys, I've never been so excited to talk about cliches. As you can probably tell now, we're going to be talking a little bit about cliches today, because I think this can be a big problem in beginning writing, because cliches are such a part of our vocabulary, because we hear and read them everywhere around us, and so it's only natural to put them into your writing, but they really should be avoided at all costs, because if you use these cliches, I won't be able to look you in the eye. First off, there's nothing worse than using cliches that are superlatives and absolutes. An example of this is, there was never a dull moment. You see this a lot and hear it a lot, but I just can't take it seriously. When I read or hear that, I think, literally? Have these characters never gone to the bathroom? Because I'd count that as a dull moment, and I'm pretty positive they have at some point in this story. Another example of this is, blank character was the greatest evil, or the greatest hero, or the greatest baseball player of all time. Once again, I just can't take this literally, because I think at some point in time, there's been a villain that was worse, or there will be a villain that will be worse. It just doesn't logically make sense to say that. Also, it comes back to showing versus telling. Just show me that they're an evil character, or that it's the most powerful sword that's ever existed. You don't need to tell me. Now, something that makes me as angry as a bee is the overused similes and metaphors. These are things like, his best friend was snoring like a bear, or the woman across the room screamed like a banshee. Is there really no better way to describe these things than ways that have been used over and over again? Do you even know what a banshee sounds like? Have you ever heard a bear snore? Think about your narrator. You want to create a unique voice for them. So find something that they can compare something to. So if his friend is snoring really loud, and he also happens to have a great Aunt Beulah who snores even louder, then he can say, my best friend was snoring like my great Aunt Beulah. Find descriptions that relate to your story. Only say that someone screamed like a banshee if there really are banshees in this story for the narrator to compare it to. And heaven forbid you use cliched character descriptions. Are this girl's eyes really blue like the sky? Or are they green like the sea? Or, the one that could make me so mad I could scream, are her eyes like a troubled sea? Come up with a better way to describe the color. Something that really helps me is to observe people's physical characteristics. See how their hair flows, or ways to describe the color, what the color of their eyes remind you of, and use that in your writing instead of relying on cliche descriptions that everyone else has used before. And if I read about another male character who is described using the words brooding or mysterious, I might go crazy. The big reason that you want to avoid cliches is not so you won't annoy me, but so that you can make the story and the characters your own. Don't rely on the descriptions and the phrases that everyone else has used. Make things of your own, describe it in your own way, because that's one of the ways you'll find your own voice. I just needed to get this off my chest. Let me know if there's any cliches that bother you down in the bottom so that we can all avoid them and make our writing a little more unique. And I will see you all next week when I will be giving you some new book recommendations. Bye!